Welcome to Fudge Muppet, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Scott, and I remember playing Oblivion as a child without a sense of direction nor any clear goal, and one day I found myself spying a team of horses frolicking about in the wilds to the south of the Imperial City. Naturally, I chased them and tried to tame one and ride it, because horses were so expensive and I was without many septums. I chased and chased, but I should have picked the steed sign because I was lacking the speed needed. I eventually gave up and proceeded to roam the wilds, and that is when I saw it. A beautiful white horse just standing there in the forest, rather still. I tried to sneak and approached slowly, and I got close, but suddenly it turned hostile and began to attack me, and by the 9, it had a horn. It was no mere horse, but a unicorn. I tried to strike this enemy, but my steel sword made no impact, and mere moments later, I was clocked in the side of the head with a minotaur's warhammer, and, well, that was the end of that. After reloading my game, I searched the wilds of the Heartland again and found the unicorn once more, in a location called Hircine's Grove, guarded by 3 minotaurs. Many attempts to ride it ended in frustration, and I was sick of it killing me save after save, so I killed it. I spent ages withering its health down with a flame touch spell, waiting for my magicka to restore and then repeating until it was dead. I was an orc warrior, so spells weren't exactly my forte. After the ordeal, the unicorn finally fell dead at my feet, and on its corpse was an item called Unicorn Horn. Now, that was unique, so I was surely going to take it, and I did. But I happened to find out that this unicorn's horn was in fact a quest item. This was all done in the fairly early game, so I actually ended up spending the majority of my playthrough with a unicorn horn sitting in my inventory. However, one day, many playthrough hours later, I came upon the Shrine of Hircine for the very first time. I loved the Daedric quests, so I was super excited for a brand new adventure at the behest of a god. I quickly found a wolf pelt to offer and summons the Daedric prince Hircine.
Summoned my prey, the hare crouches before the fox's muzzle. Perhaps I should task you, mortal, set you to hunt for my amusement. In Hircine Grove is a quarry worthy the chase. First named, last tamed. The unicorn runs wild there. Bring me this creature's horn, mortal, if you dare.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where I realized I had completed the task many weeks ago, and I finally found out what this unicorn horn was for. So I activated the shrine once more and was met with the response.
Yes, hunter, make your offering. Did you taste its flesh and drink its blood? Never waste the spoils of a kill. You've pleased me, hunter. Take my token and wear it well. Hereafter, take your prey and whisper my name.
Well, even as a child, I loved a clean and organized inventory, so I was very glad to be rid of the unicorn's horn, and in return I was gifted the Daedric artifact Savior's Hide, a piece of light armor that grants 25% magic resistance. I was a heavily armored orc, so not my ideal piece of equipment, but for a Breton character, it could be a powerful combination. Perhaps I'll play Oblivion again with a Reachman-themed Breton character. The base 50% resist magic combined with Savior's Hide would give 75% magic resistance, and it would fit the theme perfectly as the Reachmen worship Hircine as their most important god. Maybe he uses a battle axe and conjuration where he summons bestial Daedra such as Daedros, Clanfears, and Hungers, a real Witchman type character. Anyways, back to the topic at hand. I know I started off with a story of my first Oblivion experiences, but this is in fact a lore video about the unicorns, the mythical beasts of Tamriel. Despite the presence of unicorns in the Elder Scrolls series, there is actually scarce little about them. We know of course that in shape they are like a horse in all ways, with the notable exception of a spiraled horn protruding from its forehead. Its coat is pure white, like alabaster, and they are great beasts of sublime agility and have been noted to jump heights of over 9 feet. They are immune to poison, disease, and paralysis. Even normal weapons cannot affect this creature. You must instead use enchanted, silver, or Daedric weapons in your hunt. It is also as resistant to magic as a Breton is, and blows made against it can even reflect damage. In some of the earliest chronicles about them, such as the Tales of King Edward, they are said to be pure beasts who would endure no evil and are unable to abide any sort of falsity. Apparently, even a single touch of its horn is enough to kill a man, though the horn then burns away after the kill. However, I think there is some good amount of myth surrounding the unicorn that makes it seem more ethereal and holy than its apparent true nature. In Daggerfall, you could find a book called Light and Dark, which describes how destruction of a fire Daedra strengthens the light and weakens the dark just a little. In the same manner, destruction of a unicorn strengthens the dark. The implication here is that the unicorns are an Daedric beast, a creature of Anu, of order, and to destroy one strengthens the dark, which is referring to the antithesis of Anu, Padme. Now, full transparency, these ideas about the unicorns as holy beasts seem to have been somewhat retconned or changed since Daggerfall, and understandably so. Many things have changed since the Elder Scrolls games of the 90s, but as scholars of Elder Scrolls lore, our job is to rationalize and incorporate so that we can have a cohesive in-universe explanation. But first, what is the conflict, you ask? Well, in a book called Aspects of Lord Hircine, written by Urakanuk of the Reachman, it says, "You may meet the hunter who is invoked as Alrabeg. He bears the spear of bitter mercy. He comes here from the hunting grounds to hunt new prey, or he brings prey native to the hunting grounds, like the unicorn, to hunt in new forests. If he brings not prey, then woe betide you who meet him, for he may dub you the hare. Then you must flee as best as you can, though you will not escape." The key phrase in this little passage is "he brings prey native to the hunting grounds like the unicorn to hunt in new forests." This would indicate that the unicorns are in fact Daedra, native to the Daedric realm of Hircine, which is called the hunting grounds. This piece of information would also stack up with the events of Oblivion during his quest. It would seem that Hircine released a unicorn from his realm into Hircine Grove on Tamriel for the purpose that hunters such as yourself can prove their prowess to him. In the grove, you'll also find a unicorn protected by 3 minotaurs, and interestingly, some minotaurs have been known to worship, or at least affiliate themselves with the Daedric Prince of the Hunt, such as Dormerhouse the Bloody Horned, a minotaur warlord who was said to be the favoured champion of Hircine. So it makes sense that these minotaurs could be followers of Hircine tasked with defending the unicorn. Hircine's a sportsman and loves the hunt, and what better way to prove yourself as a hunter than by defeating a creature that possesses several resistances, powers, and immunities even to normal weapons, who is additionally protected by 3 powerful minotaur guardians. This would also explain why unicorns are so rare on Tamriel, because they come from another realm, only if Hircine wills it in order to test his followers. I find this interesting though, because if the unicorn is in fact a Daedric beast, then the tales of its pure nature in books such as King Edward and Light and Dark are just simple mythical ideas about a creature that people don't really understand. Rather ironic that this image gets praise considering it is a Daedra, the complete opposite of what is considered holy and pure in most Daedric religions. I wonder if people truly understood the unicorn as a Daedric being, would they still create statues and sigils bearing its image? It would kind of be like a kingdom of Cyrodiil bearing the sigil of a Scamp or Zivalai on their flags. Very out of place. Now that we have established this supernatural being's Daedric origins, we can actually talk about their horns with a little more insight. Unicorn horns have had various uses in the games, and as we know, many ingredients harvested from Daedra have powerful properties. Well, the unicorn horn in Oblivion has Fortify Health, though you can't actually use it, and in Daggerfall it has Detect Enemy. It also appears in Redguard, but that's an action-adventure game, so you can't use alchemy. However, in Daggerfall, the sorceress Medora Doreni uses a great unicorn horn retrieved by the player to break a curse on the Doreni Tower. I'm unsure what the difference between a great and a regular unicorn horn is, but clearly it has magical applications beyond its game descriptions of Detect Enemy and Fortify Health. Though speculation is rather fruitless, unfortunately, considering that we have so little to go on. Ultimately, unicorns are a very mysterious creature. We simply have not experienced enough of them to truly understand their powers. Perhaps in Elder Scrolls 6 we may visit the hunting grounds and find a few. I will, though, offer one more story of my childhood about a unicorn. On another playthrough, much later, I found out that it was indeed possible to ride the unicorn. It's possible to sneak up and ride it with no weapon drawn, or alternatively you can do what I did and let it chase you all the way to the nearby Inn of Ill Omen, the place where you kill Rufio for the Dark Brotherhood. I waited till it was right at me and attacking me, and then I ducked into the inn and then straight back out again. And you could then see the unicorn passive and walking away, and so then I ran up, quickly pressed ride, and bam, I had a unicorn mount for free, which I rode all the way to Leyawen. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of all the unicorn tales I have for you today. They are such a typical fairy tale creature that I actually don't often see in many fictional fantasy worlds. It's one of those things that are so typical that no one uses them, and they kind of become interesting and fresh as opposed to continually used fantasy staples like dragons or elves. I'd love to see them run with unicorns a little bit more in the future games and flesh them out. Like I just said, seeing the hunting grounds would be awesome, with herds of them dashing through ancient forests. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this video. Give it a like if you had similar unicorn experiences in Oblivion, and let me know what you think about them. Any theories to offer? Do you want to see them explored in future games? Thanks again. My name is Scott from Fudge Muppet, and I'll be back to nerd out with you again next time.